I'm Lucy Edwards, Director of Strategic Engagement at Metaport and VHT Studios. And today I'm with David Marin, Chief Marketing Officer at Coldwell Banker, and we are at Coldwell Banker headquarters.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Happy to talk with you.
And I would love to talk about what's so close to your heart and you are passionate about it, is branding. So you started about 21, 22 years ago. You've been with the same brand
Yes.
all those years. So you must really embracing it. And I think the reason it's so easy for you, it's because you are constantly evolving the branding for Coldwell Banker. And share with us your journey, how you started with creating listing presentations, and then you start rebranding all of the divisions of Coldwell Banker.
Yeah, I started with Coldwell Banker about 21 years ago, March of 2002. And actually, the reason that I joined the brand is because I got laid off from a previous job. I was working for a small agency, and I walked in on Valentine's Day of 2002 and found out I was getting laid off. So I was unemployed for 2 months and eventually found a job on hotjobs.com to be the electronic product manager for Coldwell Banker. And I went into the interview not really knowing anything about Coldwell Banker, but I ended up getting the job. And sometimes some of the things that you think are the bad things in life actually turn out to be one of the best, because me getting laid off allowed me this opportunity to join this amazing brand. I've been here for 21 years since. But you're right, my first day at Coldwell Banker, I walked into my boss's office. He took this 3-ring binder. He put it on the desk in front of me and he said, "This is a listing presentation. It's the backbone of an agent's business, but we have to find a way to make it digital." So I said to him, "Do you mean like turning it into a PowerPoint presentation?" And he said, "Can you do that?" And I said, "Yes." And so he says, "Well, you got 3 months." And I said, "I could probably do it in a week." So I have the honor of creating the first ever PowerPoint listing presentation in Coldwell Banker history. And from that point, really, it's been, I'm really blessed in a career standpoint to be part of this amazing brand for so long and be able to be part of some of the amazing changes that it's made along the way, from the advent of our video first YouTube channel to new mobile applications to what we're doing on social media to then eventually being able to rebrand Coldwell Banker, in the first rebrand in over 40 years.
And that is the fruit of your labor.
Yes, it is. Yes. It looks quite good on the wall there, but that was quite a journey to be part of that, because a lot of people, the brand hadn't changed in over 40 years, right? And so people got used to things, and there was this sense that we don't need to change it because everybody knows what it is. But we did some research in talking with consumers before we even ventured into a rebrand. We want to find out, like, what do people perceive Coldwell Banker as? And when we shared with consumers, hey, here's what we've been doing lately, here's all the innovations that we've been part of, the response from consumers was, your brand is trusted, it's established, we love what you're doing, but you look old. And so perception was holding us back. And I use this analogy, it's almost as if we needed a new suit. And so you go into a job interview, right? You've got the resume, you've got the references, you've got the experience, but you go and you look like Jim Halpert from The Office, and all of a sudden what's on the paper is not matching what's in front of you. Or if you had a new suit, all of a sudden what is on that paper is now matching what people see in front of you. So that's what we saw with our brand, is it needed that refresh, it needed that new look, something that felt a little bit more modern, a little bit fresher, and much more cleaner than the previous logo. And so we developed this North Star imagery, which you see behind us, and applied it across the core brand, Global Luxury, the commercial brand. And while I was initially met with like some angst about why are we changing things, I don't like it, or something else, now today, if you go anywhere, one of my favorite things is when someone sees the old logo, which is only redone about 3 or 4 years ago, and they're like, "Oh man, that thing looks awful compared to what we have now." So really pleased with how that has turned out.
Oh, I certainly enjoyed it. And my first impression was it looks clean. It just really represents something modern, adventurous. And I think it will also attract younger generation to the brand like that. The colors and the look of it.
Thank you.
Which is also very important.
Oh, it is. And this allows us a lot more flexibility. When you're designing the logos these days and even branding, you're thinking about how does it work in a mobile and a social environment first, because that's oftentimes where people are interacting with your brand the most. And this gave us a lot more flexibility using the CB Star icon separately and in social platforms. It really became much more flexible, and it does feel fresher. And the biggest thing that you can see that when people are adopting your brand in a significant way is when they want to put it on their own person. And we sold, I think, nearly $1 million worth of merchandise with the new branding on it over the course of the first 2 years of the rebrand. And that is showcasing that people not only are wanting the brand, but now they're willing to put it on themselves. And that was actually part of the thinking behind the rebrand, is that we didn't get inspiration from other real estate brands, but we actually looked at fashion brands. And so like, how are they treating their marks and their icons? Because we know that people will interact with our brand more on a person, one of our 100,000 agents across the globe, than they will with us as an entity. So we wanted something that would be, people would be proud to wear, that had the flexibility, that looked good. So whether it's on a hat or a jacket or a shirt or a water bottle, all of a sudden it sticks out. And so we have, I'll tell you a quick story.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 boys, and one of them is in high school right now. He's a sophomore in high school, Wyatt. And we have portable phone chargers that have the CB branding on it. And so even when Wyatt and then when Logan was in high school, I would have extra phone chargers that I'd get at events. And some of the kids saw my son having them and they're like, oh, can we get one too? So I would give away a phone charger here, a phone charger there. And all of a sudden, the basketball team knew the Coldwell Banker branding. So this past summer, my son Wyatt gets a text from a friend who took a picture of a billboard in upstate New York and says, hey, tell your dad they're using the old logo. And he sent an image of a billboard, had the old logo on it. So I've got my own band of brand ambassadors out there. We're making sure that people are using the logo correctly.
Isn't that something?
It is.
It's amazing that the kid felt the importance of keeping this beautiful, open-minded brand everywhere, and he noticed, he paid attention.
Yes, and they liked the branding. They thought, hey, and when they saw something else that didn't look like that, they knew something was wrong. And they're like, that doesn't look as good. Mr. Marin needs to know this. And so you've now been warned out there. If you're using the old logo, I've got a band of people who are out there checking.
Well, the kid deserves another charger.
He does. He does. I think we got him a water bottle too.
That's a beautiful story, actually.
Thanks.